It's January the 2nd and it's a cold one, but we are happy to be back for the new year. We've got some huge plans to get done this year and we've got some huge work to get through to it as well. But I am re-energized and ready to go. So let's hit the ground running and get where we need to be. We've always been really focused on trying to make sure we provide the best possible training for everyone. But one of the things we've decided that we're going to do early on this year is really push to improve the training even further. It's very difficult to be able to provide the best training without spending loads of money on it, which is why we try and do as much in-house as we possibly can. But that still means you can constantly improve on what you're doing. And for the technicians, we're going to be expanding their training and doing a little bit more in-house before they're out doing their shadow shifts, which they get 3 to 4 weeks on shadow shifts. So one of the things we're doing today is to be able to do actual training within the office as well. So we're going to be installing some ovens in here and they can work on those before they even go out anywhere. So let's get that done and let's see how it goes. So we're all finished with the installation of the ovens and there is basically, we're not completely finished. We're finished with how it's going to look. We've got one oven installed, but we need to get another couple more. But we need to source those. They don't need to be working ovens. It's more about how the doors come off and all of that sort of thing, really. So that's really good to get those in and get that extra. And we've got some extra storage space going in up there as well, which also helps out. It's all right, don't worry. But that is really going to help us just improve the training that we provide for our technicians. So we'll see how that gets on when we've got the first new technician starting next week. Well, today didn't exactly go to plan, that's for sure. Kind of takes your wind out your sails a little bit. I mean, hats off to Danny, amazing work, really. You know, she's come back as re-energized as I have and really committed to get it right. Good mindset, not letting the problems get her down. But first couple of days back, and yeah, we've really kind of had our feet taken out from under us. So we've had to adapt and keep pushing through. One of the technicians who's been with us for quite a long time, made the decision before Christmas that he would be leaving the business, which, you know, that's fine. He just wanted to have a job that was closer to home, do a few less hours, because he wanted to be at home for his young kids, which is absolutely fine. We had some good conversations with him, agreed that was going to be the case, and we agreed the notice period that he had to work, which obviously was all put in plan. We all thought very highly of this particular person, so we never had any reason to question that would be it would be any different. Unfortunately, though, didn't even make it into day one. He had messaged Danny the day before to say that he wouldn't be returning due to health reasons. Think of that what you will, frankly. I'm not going to comment. I'm just going to leave that thought there. So that was hit number one. We also had another technician off sick, vomiting actually, which we have a 48-hour rule on that, obviously to protect our customers. So you have to be off for at least 48 hours after you have physically been sick. So they're off for this week. And then hopefully back in next week. So yeah, a couple of knocks, a few other minor problems as well that I'm not going to bore you with and keep going into details with, but not really the start we wanted, but we'll get there, we'll bounce back from it, and we'll keep pushing forward for sure.
Is this the strangest extractor fan you've ever seen? This is over an island in the middle of the kitchen and it is very strange looking. We've never seen one like this before. But wait until you see the filter. What do you think it looks like? Drop it in the comments and let us know what you think. Would you have one or not?
Monday the 13th of January. It is going to be an absolutely manic week, the same as it started off the new year. I've got to be honest, it has been ridiculously crazy. We hit the ground running on the Thursday the 2nd, and we haven't stopped running since. Hence the reason why I haven't done a great deal of filming, because I literally just haven't had a chance to stop, really. But today, good day, we've got 2 new technicians starting today, and we've changed the way that we're doing our training. So rather than doing a 1-day induction and training session here in the office, we're doing a 2-day training and induction. So we're going to do all the paperwork, theoretical stuff and everything like that here in the office today. We're going to get the guys issued with their vans and that sort of stuff today, and then tomorrow we're going to do some practical, and we're just going to slow things down a little bit on that, and then they'll go back out and they'll still get their 4 weeks worth of shadow training as well. So, but what we're trying to do is just really cement that that theory side of things and really get them off to a good start, because that's the feedback we've been getting, is they just don't always get the best start. So let's get cracking.
No balls on the other side. I don't know which side I got from this. There's no balls on the other side.
It's not funny, Kim, is it? Right, so
No,
you've
no,
got other
that's great.
skills.
These were thorough, that's why I have to check that.
Well, yeah.
Could it be?
Right.
There is a tool bag in George's van. There is a socket set in George's van.
So what was he doing then?
I don't know, it's not a socket set in his own.
Mm.
It's all fucking crap.
He must have been black when he was doing it. It's black, right?
So you don't need them now.
Well, I'm gonna have to do a whole fucking list again. Because I don't know what he's missed and thought was in there and not present what he had. Because there is a tool bag, there is a socket set, there is a syringe. So that's 3 off the list that you said wasn't in there, even there.
Unless he's forgotten to take it out and he needs it in the van, he's just gone into.
Well, don't because I don't understand how it's his bag that's doing it. Well, socket set.
They don't take it to me.
We got all the sides up. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, well,
And then there you go. Is it flat?
well. Yes.
I could do up and then.
Right, right. No, I don't know which one. I don't think it's on it.
You could what?
I think it's on it.
Which one is it steady, is it?
No, I think. Sorry,
Twisting your hands.
no.
It's Thursday the 16th of January, and I'm starting a new tactic for this year. So I'm going to be working from home 1 day a week, so I can purely focus on lead generation, particularly for the contract side of the business, but also just generally larger projects really. We need to improve our processes and get that constant flow of leads for the bigger projects, and we want to grow in particular the contract side of it. Our contract side of the business provides opportunities for so many different people, and is such a great service. It just hasn't grown as much as what we wanted it to over the last 12 months. So that's my focus. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm not going to try. That's my focus, and that's what I'm going to be doing. 1 day a week, I'm going to be working from home. A lot more of my time is going to be spent on business development and lead generation. That's one of the reasons why Kim is moving into an overall operations managing role, so I can just step back a little bit from that and really focus on developing the business and pushing the business forward.
I would love to have someone else in that role, same as I would love to have someone else in the marketing role, so I'm not doing it all myself. But that's the joys of running a business. Sometimes you just don't have the budget to put people in those roles. And essentially, is it sales before operations, or is it operations before sales? Well, don't get me wrong, you can't afford to have the sales without a good amount of operations when it comes to actually delivering the services. So I invest in that to make sure we've got the customers are looked after and it doesn't detract from the service they receive. But we can't put the back office operations in before we've got a certain level of sales. Otherwise it will throttle the business and it will kill the business. So it's one of those. And that's one thing that is massively going through my mind at the moment, because I'll be honest, and I'll say, I don't think I'm the best at this. Put me in front of a customer and I think I'm great, because I believe I listen to what they want and I can put a plan together that will deliver. That's why I have a really good conversion rate when it comes to being in front of a customer. But to getting those leads in the first place, it's probably one of my weaknesses and things I've got to work on at the moment. So let's hope this is a step in the right direction. It is 6 o'clock on Monday the 20th of January, just finishing up. What a day it's been. It's been absolutely crazy from the get-go. Danny wasn't back in today, she's still off. She's very poorly, had to go for some blood tests and all sorts, so that has put more pressure on here in the office. We then have had a van breakdown over the weekend. They were out on Saturday and it's broken down, so we've had to try and get that sorted. Another technician who was supposed to be meeting that technician, so it didn't inconvenience any customers, had an emergency first thing this morning, so they had to nip off and do that, which caused a bit of a delay. So like literally Monday morning was just one hit after another after another. The person that we had training in the office for the new customer service, the new person we had training in the customer service office last week hasn't worked out. I ended up working with them on Friday because Danny wasn't in, and to be honest, I didn't get a good vibe, and I think that is really, really important. So I did push boundaries. I pushed quite hard to really test what they were capable of, and I think basically ended up being a case of they felt they couldn't succeed, which honestly put us both on the same page, because I finished Friday thinking they are never going to get to grips with this role. It's not as easy as they thought it was going to be. So that ended up not going forward. Then we've had a breakdown with one of the machines, one of the carpet machines on site today. A few issues there. It's just been a real slog. So yeah, not a great start to the week, but we've got to keep pushing on. We've got some good bookings in. We have made some good bookings today at least, and some good headway in that sense. We've ended up helping out a local customer who has had a rat problem early hours of this morning, so I had to shoot out and go and do a quote on that, because they've literally watched a rat come up through the toilet in their commercial kitchen. So they've obviously had an exterminator out who's dealt with that situation, but we've had to go in and decontaminate all the kitchen, which is really good to be doing that. And we've actually still got, we've been out and done it, actually still on site doing it now, finishing off. So that's really good. So it's been a productive day, but it has been an absolute crazy day. What I will say is we've still got some cracks in the team. We need to really get the team pulled together and fill some of those gaps that we've got at the moment to really strengthen the team up. But the people that we do have in place are absolutely smashing it. In particularly, the young lady that sits there, Chloe, is really just a real Trojan at the moment and smashing it. So I'm finishing. I'm going for the day, and we'll be back at it tomorrow.
So the rat infestation that's come through the tops. Even though this is all clean, you just don't know whether or not rats are walking around touching it. Although the head, that's whatever you want to call it. Wants me to put the flour just on the edge here, just to make sure that it's not coming out this way to the kitchen. We haven't seen any rat droppings out here, but there's rat droppings beyond that door. So the plan of attack is to come in here, shut this door first, so just in case. Need lights, be very helpful. There we go. Clean in here. I'll get the sanitizer. Then can shut that door, work up in here, do the exact same thing. Clean all of this up, shut this door. Run up here. Pop this over, let it dry, put some flour there just in case it does actually come out further into the kitchen. So get some more food.
It's Wednesday the 22nd of January. I'm out on the road all morning this morning. It's what I would call a firefighting day, if I'm brutally honest. I've got a few things I've got to go and look at in a couple of meetings to basically make sure that we're doing what we're meant to be doing and customers understand that and they're happy with that and we can keep going forward. First stop is for the external cleaning that we do for the tender that we've done recently. If you haven't seen that episode, click the link above. It goes into more detail what that's all about and the first few jobs as well in a couple of the episodes. But it's one of the most difficult sites for that customer where we're doing the gutters and we can't access it just with the reach and wash system. It's not early morning, and I'll explain why my brain's frazzled as it is in a minute. We can't access the gutters with the gutter vac as simply as from the ground because of the height and position of them. They're not technically gutters, they'd be classed more as gullies. Now, we've got the work booked in, we did some investigation, we planned for a telehandler, etc, to make sure we could get there. However, on further investigation and just double checking details, it looks as though the plans we've made might not be 100% accurate and we may not be able to complete the work to the degree that we want to. So, rather than keep doing things remotely and questioning things and potentially making a wrong decision and not getting it done on the day, I'm heading over there now to do a full assessment, and then I'm going to speak to the access platform company to obviously discuss and make the right arrangements for the right plan to make sure the work is carried out both safely and obviously to the correct standard as well. So that's first stop. Second stop is to a customer who isn't very happy at the moment, in all honesty, and I never say we're perfect. I'd like to be, and I strive to be, but we're not. It's as simple as that, especially when you've got as many moving parts as what we've got. There's a lot of people involved, which means there is a lot of moving parts. And that's when things can go wrong. It seems as though there's some areas that the customer believes we're missing, but the cleaner is saying, or cleaners, there's multiple on this site, are saying that they can't get to it in the hours they've got. They're following the task list that we've put in place, and obviously they believe it's not their fault. So we need to go over, we need to sit down with the customer, we need to run through it, we need to see what can be, can't be done, see where we need to be in the middle somewhere. That may be some one-off cleaning by the support operative team to bring the standard up on an occasional basis. That may be looking at some additional hours. It may be that we need to do some retraining or some support with the operatives because actually they potentially could be doing better from that front. Then we've got another site visit, which is for another customer where it seems as though the person we were dealing with when we set this site up didn't actually have the authority to confirm, to sign the contract at the end of the day. And the customer is basically saying that they have signed up for an excessive amount of hours and an excessive amount of work, so it doesn't match their requirements. Now, obviously, we want to make sure that what we're delivering matches the customer's requirements, both on budget and on standard for the site as well. And essentially what they're saying is we're over-delivering on standard because we're doing stuff multiple times that we don't need to be doing, and obviously it's outside of their budget because it hasn't been authorised by the higher-ups. Now, again, we could get awkward about that, but we still want to maintain a long-standing relationship with this. As far as I'm concerned, again, being brutally honest, you know that about me by now, it's a them problem. If they've had someone authorise the work within their organisation and sign for it, the signature states that they are signing to say that or the contract states that they are signing to say that they've got significant or sufficient authority to be signing that contract. So it is within their organisation, which I believe they've actually let the person go for that. But again, that's up to them. I can't comment on that really. I just want to try and make sure that the customer's happy and we come to some sort of relationship that we can continue working forward on. So we need to go and have a look at that and see if we can find a good middle ground, because my other concern is the fact that actually they think they can get the standard that we're delivering on site for much less hours, which just isn't really possible. We're going to have to leave out certain things and stuff like that. So we'll see, but we've got to go and have that meeting first. I'm still not 100% sure if Danny is back in the office today, because Kim has been liaising with her and dealing with that. But I've set it all up on my handover yesterday so this office can continue to run smoothly, even if she's not there. And if I'm not there for the morning, I'm hoping that she is well enough to be back in. But she has to be well enough, and I think this is half of Danny's problem, is she doesn't like to give in, she doesn't like to take time off. But actually, I believe you have to take time off and you have to make sure you're well enough to be in work. Otherwise, it becomes a recurring issue. So we'll see what the situation is. I will give him a ring in a bit, but we'll see what the situation is when I get back to the office. It may then be catching up for me, because I am well behind, and that's why my brain, as I was saying, that's why my brain is as fuzzy as anything, because I'm not really stopping at the moment. January is a tester, to say the least. It's certainly not panning out in the way that we wanted it to. So far, it is a bit of a hard slog. We've continued to have a lot of sickness and absence. Some of the people that we've recruited haven't worked out. So it's putting pressure on all of the team, myself included, to the point where I'm actually trying to make sure that I'm taking a lot of that pressure. So yesterday, we did have cover. Sian offered to cover the phones, but she would have been on her own for a certain amount of time. Becky's new, she would have been on her own for a bit as well. It's just like, nah, can't have it. So I stepped into the office all day yesterday, finished last night at 6 o'clock, went home, put the kids to bed, and then jumped straight back on the laptop to try and catch up on my own stuff. So yeah, it's putting pressure on everyone. But we'll get there, we'll get through it. We've got to persevere, we've got to make sure we can bring the right people on to bolster this. People will get better, they'll get over their sicknesses, they'll get through the things that they're going through, and if we support them in that process, they'll be stronger and more committed to the company afterwards. And that's my belief, that's what I stand by, and that's what I try and do. So let's get on with today. That's enough of my ramble, and we'll see how we get on.
So toilet done, this room done, had some little videos beforehand. Demonstrator asked me to shut the alarm floor, just in case it does come out. And let me see the tracking marks. So, fuck with that, fuck the floor, fuck that. Or this lot. Obviously I haven't done the ovens because it's shut, but I've gone into trays on the floor, on the floor. Under the ovens, whatever. Shelving, or trolley rack, sinks, some doors. Gone in between all of this, because you just don't know where he's gone, if he has gone out here, so it's better just to cover all bases. Gone up walls, only as far as the tiles, because I do not believe the rack is going to climb across the wall, but the steam and the fog's gone up there anyway. Obviously, been a little bit short, I can't actually quite reach the walls itself, so I've allowed the steamer to do most of the work for me, because it's just so much easier. Utensils, behind there, fogged over this a lot. So basically anything that you can see in this place has been fogged, apart from the kitchen extractor. The kitchen extractor does need to be done, and the shower bay. Yeah. So that's what done, open these all the drawers, fuck them in there as well, because we don't know where the rack's going to go. So it's easier just to fuck everything over. Obviously done the windows, floors, as I said, out here, even though it was a bottom of this, but I thought I might as well anyway, it's just out there. Plus it's all wet into, so you don't actually know you have to not come up this way, but come through this way instead, so it's easier just to fuck everything over. Turn this off and then go home. I'm just going to figure out some of that stuff. There we go. Shut that down and good night.
Friday the 24th of January, and we're ending the week on a very positive note. This morning, myself and Ashley attended a new site meeting just to get everything set up and in line, ready to start in a couple of weeks' time. That was all very positive. We then had to go over to the other customer that I was supposed to see on, where were we? Wednesday, because of the looking to reduce some hours and the issues they've had there. So we've had that meeting. It was a much more positive meeting than I was expecting, to be fair. They need to reduce the hours because they are a events venue, and essentially they had someone set the contract up with the amount of hours that they've got, and it just doesn't suit the business. We don't want to over deliver. We want to make sure that we've got a good working relationship going. So we've made an agreement to reduce the hours down. It's actually only going to be for a couple of months, and then it will go back up again when the events pick back up. And then in the office, they've had some amazing results this week. So January started off a bit slow, and it's been very hard work in the office for the specialist team to get the sales in. But it's been an absolutely amazing week. They've smashed the weekly bookings target, and they've made a massive dent in the monthly target. So we are little over £1,000 off of the monthly target. But considering we're currently a technician down, I think that is absolutely amazing work. It's really, really good. So going to focus on the positive. Nice way to finish up the week. And then we'll be back at it on Monday, where I have another new site meeting going. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please do click the subscribe button below, turn on that notification bell, or please share this with one person you think would like to watch it and find it interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time behind the cleans.